Okay guys, so I'm going to overview real quick of the GORT, the Gray Oral Reading Test, 5th edition. So we give these most often for kiddos who we suspect might have dyslexia. It shows your entry points up here, talks about your basals and ceilings. So basically if you have 2 consecutive stories with a fluency score of 2 or less, you're going to discontinue, and that happens for your elementary kids, happens really quickly sometimes. So this is what it's going to look like on my end. Let's say I have a first grader and I'm starting on story number 1. She is going to get her student book. We go to story number 1 on Form A. Of course, there's 2 different forms. This is what the kiddo sees. This is what I see. See, father. Father is here. We want to play. Can you play, mother? So I'm timing it. I'm counting their deviations from print. Let's just say they left out a couple words. So 2 here. Sometimes I'll tick mark it as we go into those, into the larger passages. Then right after, I'll take the booklet away from the kiddo and then ask them the questions. Where do you think here is in the story? They give you a couple correct responses, and then you give them the comprehension score. Let's just say they get, 4 of them. And then your time here, you can put seconds or minutes and then do your conversion as you please. We'll say they took 30 seconds. We come down here. So 30 seconds would fall here. They only had 2 deviations from print, so I'll find that here. So your score would be 2 plus 3 equals 5. The comprehension score would be separate. Then you restart it with the next story, kind of doing the same thing. The one thing that's really nice about this test is that whenever you are testing them, you can provide them words. So like, let's just say they didn't know how to pronounce the name of the cat, Mimi. You can tell them that and then give them up to 8 words. So I'll often mark teacher told. I put that there. Like, let's just say a lot of times my kids will say floor here. I like to mark that because that shows that transpositions that we're looking for. A lot of times they'll see house and say home. And so that would be a substitution. Means the same thing, but it's a different word. Get all the way to the bottom. Let's just say they took 2 minutes. So that would be 120 seconds. Let's say they had lots of deviations from print, but they were still able to answer the majority of the questions here. So I'd come down here and let's just say their score was a 0 here, deviations from print. Like I said, that fluency score just needs to be 2 or less. So here it's 0. Let's say we discontinued. You would do the same thing as you did kind of on the C-top as far as you're bringing over your scores. That first story we had 2, 3, 5. So I would go 2, 3, 5, and then a 4 for comprehension. And then the next one was 0, 0, 0, 4. As you go, you're going to count these up, bring them all the way down, whatever they are. One of the neat checkpoints for yourself is these scores are added to equal this one. So you should see some consistency there. And then when you get here, you're going to also transfer them this way. Your raw scores will be 2, 3, 5, 8. You're going to also get into your examiner's manual. Look for your age equivalents for each one of these: rate, accuracy, fluency, and comprehension. So each one is going to have a different page. So let's just say it was a 7-year-old. I come to 7. So they have a 2. It'll show you your scaled score and your percentile rank. I'll put these over here. And it's the same as last time. Here's your scaled scores and your index scores. I sometimes will put a little chart for myself because I can't remember the correlation sometimes. But either way, you'll still see these descriptive terms are very similar for both the tests. And then You're going to get all this information, get your scaled scores, your fluency and comprehension, whatever it was, they would be added together to get your sum of scaled scores. So like I said, you would go to your raw scores for rate, then one for accuracy, then one for fluency, then one for comprehension. So when you're done with that, you're going to oh, this is Form B, sorry. You're going to convert these scaled scores to percentile rates and your indexes, and you'll put that over here. Your sum of scaled scores would be this number here, and it'll give you your oral reading index, which is your overall. And like, let's just say this kiddo got a 78. That would fall in the poor range. You know, take into account those standard error measurements, just in case it's not likely that this was a good day for a kid. It's always good to know these numbers whenever you're reporting, or if it's something that's a little off for that particular kiddo. And that's basically it. The one good thing that I really like about this test here is that I'm able to look at their miscues, and I'm able to see what type of miscues that they have. If they're, you know, making these types here: substitutions, omissions, mispronunciations, additions, reversals, hesitations. It's really good to look at their posture, if they're word by word reading, disregard of punctuation, finger pointing, loss of place. You'll be surprised how a kiddo's whole demeanor changes whenever they come to testing and reading. It's very different than a lot of the other tests that I've seen. So hopefully this is helpful. Thank you so much.